Alright, it's a bank holiday today. So here I am, grilling some kielbasa. I just got it going. They're just starting to sweat. I've got a cheap tinfoil grill over some bricks that I found over in the forest by the plum tree. I built myself some sort of rocket stove out of the ground here. You can see inside there the coals are burning really hot. And I expect maybe it's a slow burning stove, so half an hour, 45 minutes I might have some kielbasa. Good old sausage. This is going to be a very quick video of all the pumpkins I can find as I walk around the mound. I've sprayed all of them with garlic. So here is, well, actually are two of them. There's one growing up there. There are some definite sunflowers growing up through the top here. Those are sunflowers up on the top. Coming around here, I've got one small pumpkin that was chewed on, but it hasn't opened up yet, so I put a cap on it. Here's some pumpkin right there. Here are, this one might be done for already. There's some pumpkin. There's some pumpkin. There's some pumpkin. There's some pumpkin. There's a pumpkin. Here are two pumpkins, one and two. Moving around here, there's a pumpkin right there. There are two pumpkins there, and more coming up, I'm sure, because I put a whole line along there. Here's a pumpkin right here. Here's a whole troop of pumpkins. You can see the ground is wet under them because I sprayed them with garlic. Lots of garlic this time. 2 cloves. That's all pumpkin in a row. That's a line of pumpkin there. Below, another line of pumpkin. Right around here someplace I can see my sun choke or Jerusalem artichokes are growing up really good here. I've got another set of them going up right here. That's Jerusalem artichoke growing up. And more growing up right through here. Alright, so more pumpkins. More pumpkins. More pumpkins. More pumpkins. More pumpkins. And someplace over here I'm sure there's more pumpkins, but you get the idea. It's 8:51 at night. It's going to be dark here anytime soon. So you can see I have this gap here in the Hugekultur bed. And here comes a slug. He's coming down out of this hole. Here comes slug number 2, and he's coming out. So that really means I need to come in here and fill in all these gaps, because these slugs have all the places in the world to hide back in these cracks and crannies. So I really need to liquidate these holes to get rid of these slugs. I just decided to do a quick walk around before I left tonight. After my little grill, I had 4 kielbasa. Look at all the mosquitoes here that are flying above the fire pit. That's all mosquitoes. I have about 20 of them landing on my arm just right now, but they're not really biting. They're just landing and bouncing off. There's like some on the other side biting me right now, but mostly they're not biting. So I decided to go around and kill more slugs before I left. I thought I'd get 1 or 2. So went round the outside first, then walked around the inside, and in that one little 5-minute walk, with all the slugs I killed earlier today that were under the traps, there were only like 5 or 6, plus the other ones I killed randomly. It brings my total up to 43 slugs. 43 slugs today that I've cut in half and left on the mound. So I really have to fill in those gaps. I've got to get this dirt covered up somehow. I mean the cracks in the dirt covered up somehow. And I'm sure if I stayed here another hour, I'd get another 20 or 30 slugs. I've sprayed stuff with that garlic, the garlic spray, and I saw slugs within inches of what I just sprayed with garlic, so I'm not sure it even works, because they were going right for those pumpkins, but I went around there and killed them all. So 40 something slugs left the world today. They're not in a better place, they're slugs. So I'm happy. You can really see the mosquitoes. It's mosquito heaven right now. Anyway, I'm going to go around one more time really quickly, a quick walk, and I'm going to go home. It's 5 minutes past 9. It's almost dark. This is another example of a type of hole that slugs are coming out of. There's two of these slugs. They're going to come down, and they're going to come down all the way to eat these beans, because they've been doing that. And they've been living in this hole back here. So, you know, it's actually really hard to fill in all these holes when you have a really steep Hugekultur hill, but the only thing I can do is chop them up, and I'm going to do that right now. And I know where they're going. They know that they've been down here before eating this stuff. They've been chewing off leaves before. Then at the end of the day, they crawl back up into their holes. So guess what? I'm going to have to chop them right now. I'm not going to do it on camera, but they're going to be cut in half and left where they are, and whoever comes out is going to eat their brother. It's about 11:30 on the 20th of June. I've decided to build a little, I guess we could call it a den, in case some sort of animals want to live inside the mound itself. I decided to put it down low at the original, just a little bit lower than the original ground level. If you look in, you can see one of the first logs I laid down past that piece of root hanging there. Maybe you can't see it through the light here, but that's just about 2 inches below the original ground level. And there's a step up and a big hollow space inside there. And I'm planning to catch a couple of the hedgehogs from my local area near my apartment building, because we have a lot of hedgehogs, and maybe I'll get a breeding pair because it's really easy to hear them at night. Anyway, I might bring them here and let them loose here so they can eat the slugs. That's my second line of defense besides just chopping them with a knife. So this is what I've been doing this morning here. I've wedged this out a bit more, cut down a lot of green stuff over there and put it on the exposed logs over there. I've been working on this entrance area, and I didn't want to bury the tree, and I knocked this big one section of brick off of a big pile of bricks, one layer, knocked it off, decided it looked nice, and I'd bring it over here and put it behind the tree so that I don't have to bury that part. So that's less digging I have to do, plus I don't have to dig up the root structure, because right here there's a lot of roots, so I'm going to have to make a kind of a half circle near my shovel back over to the mound over there, just so I don't dig up the roots of this tree too much. And I can use the rest of this dirt to get up onto the mound that I've pretty much buried with branches from this tree itself and a bunch of stinging nettle and other stuff I cut from right behind me here. It exposed the stems of those. You can see over here where I haven't cut for a while, it's grown back really well. So I assume it's going to do the same thing right here. So maybe I'll finish this today. I'll just give you one more look here at the brick wall before I continue. So this is I decided just to put it behind the trees there. I really only did it not because I thought it would look nice, but because I thought it would save me a lot of shoveling, and it would save me digging up the roots of this tree. And I'm kind of right, but it looks kind of cool, so that's fine. I've been backfilling it with a lot of loose dirt and pushing it down in there, so I will continue doing that. And then I'm going to try to get up to about where that potato plant is. And I mentioned once I'm going to leave a bit of that sticking out, and I can remember where the sunlight hit at a certain time the other day, so I'm going to leave that shape of a small bed off to the side. So there it is this morning. Oh, and another thing is I killed another 7 or 8 slugs today, which brings yesterday's slug count plus today up to 60 slugs that I got. So I have been making progress on the slugs. I've killed more than 100 slugs and relocated many more snails. Alright, by finishing this little part, I have to say I'm pretty much done. I will work on the top of this later, but as far as making it all the way around the mound, I have a complete 360-degree wall covered. That's the only piece of wood there and there that's exposed, really, other than things on the top, so I can say that I have finally completed it. After shoveling for 2.5 hours, I've really done a lot. Actually, I think it was actually 3 hours because it's almost 1 o'clock now. I've really done a lot today. Finished up the entrance, got done with the trees, seeded it, and I'm going to leave this part here because I just don't want to mess that up. Probably just leave that on top there. I'll fill it in later when I know what's growing. I don't want to disturb anything here. So I have too many different plants growing up top to cover them up. I think some of these might actually be parts of buried willow trees and stuff, but it feels really good to know that I've finally got all the way around. I won't be able to finish this flood damaged part until after the growing season because everything below it will get stomped on by rolling dirt blobs if I'm not careful. So, oh, what a relief. I've absolutely gone around 1,000,000 times with a shovel. I've dug up I don't know how many tons of earth by hand. It feels really good right now to say that I've finished. And I know I haven't finished. There's still a lot of work to do, but there's no more big sections of bare logs exposed. It's all covered, and hopefully it's going to rain this afternoon. It's supposed to thunderstorm at about 2, so hopefully this will get soaked in a bit, and I can probably kick in a few of these seeds here because they seem to be. Oh, there we go. Well, I'm very satisfied.